In the deepest hours of night, when darkness wraps around consciousness like a velvet shroud, and the boundary between sleep and waking grows thin, physicists working in underground laboratories detect whispers of something extraordinary. Particles that barely interact with matter as we know it, ghostly messengers from a realm that exists parallel to our own, passing through our bodies, our planet, our entire visible universe, as if we were nothing more than empty space. They call this the dark universe, but perhaps a more accurate name would be the shadow universe. A complete cosmic mirror that may contain its own galaxies, its own stars, its own forms of complexity that evolution in darkness has shaped across billions of years. The story begins with a puzzle that has haunted cosmology for nearly a century. When astronomers calculate the gravitational forces needed to hold galaxies together, the visible matter stars, planets, gas clouds, everything that shines or can be detected by our instruments accounts for less than 5% of what must be there. The remaining 95% consists of dark matter and dark energy, mysterious substances that reveal themselves only through their gravitational signatures, bending space-time and shaping the architecture of cosmic structure while remaining completely invisible to light. But what if this dark matter isn't simply exotic particles scattered randomly through space? What if it forms its own complex structures, its own periodic table of elements, its own chemistry and physics, operating according to rules parallel to but separate from the matter we know? Recent theoretical work suggests that dark matter might be far more intricate than previously imagined, capable of forming dark atoms, dark molecules, and perhaps even dark planets, orbiting dark stars and dark solar systems that exist in the same space as our own universe, but remain forever hidden from direct observation. Picture the implications slowly unfurling like shadows at twilight. Every cubic centimeter of space around us might contain a rich ecosystem of dark matter structures, dark gases, swirling in patterns we cannot see, dark magnetic fields threading through dimensions we cannot access, dark lightning crackling between dark clouds and dark storms that rage across dark continents on dark worlds. The chair you sit in, the air you breathe, your own body might be permeated by dark forests, where dark creatures move through dark landscapes under the light of dark stars that burn with energies our physics has never encountered. The mathematical models that describe this shadow universe grow more sophisticated each year as physicists discover that dark matter exhibits behaviors suggesting internal complexity. Unlike the simple, non-interacting particles once proposed, dark matter appears to clump into structures, form reservoirs, and exhibit dynamics that hint at rich internal physics. Computer simulations reveal that if dark matter possessed even a fraction of the interactive complexity of ordinary matter, it could form structures mirroring the diversity we see in the visible universe, dark analogs of everything from hydrogen atoms to DNA molecules. The most startling possibility emerges from calculations showing that dark matter has had the same 13 billion years of cosmic evolution as ordinary matter to organize itself into increasingly complex forms. If dark chemistry can create dark organic molecules, if dark biology can emerge from dark chemistry, then the shadow universe might be teeming with dark life forms that have evolved alongside us, sharing the same cosmic space, but remaining completely undetectable except for the subtle gravitational influences they exert on the matter we can see. Underground detectors buried deep beneath mountains strain to catch glimpses of dark matter particles as they stream through Earth in numbers beyond imagination. Trillions pass through every square inch of our bodies each second, and occasionally, perhaps once in months or years, a dark matter particle collides with an ordinary atom in ways that create a tiny flash of light or a minute temperature change. These rare events provide our only direct contact with the shadow universe, brief moments when the two parallel realms of reality touch. The geographic patterns of dark matter detection suggest structures far more complex than random particle distributions. Dark matter appears to form streams, walls, and concentrated nodes that follow the same cosmic web architecture as visible matter, but with additional layers of organization that our current physics cannot explain. Some theoretical models propose that these patterns represent dark matter ecology interconnected networks of dark structures that have evolved their own forms of information transfer and environmental adaptation. Consider the possibility that consciousness itself might not be limited to biological neural networks, but could emerge from any sufficiently complex information processing system. If dark matter can form intricate structures capable of computation and memory storage, then dark forms of awareness might have evolved in the shadow universe. Intelligent beings composed of substances that remain invisible to us, but possess their own sciences, their own technologies, their own understanding of the cosmos that includes awareness of our visible universe as we are slowly becoming aware of theirs. The mathematics of quantum mechanics allows for even stranger possibilities. In quantum field theory, every type of particle corresponds to vibrations in an underlying field that permeates all space. If dark matter consists of multiple types of particles, dark electrons, dark protons, dark photons, then these particles could interact through dark electromagnetic forces, form dark chemical bonds, and create dark materials with properties entirely unknown to conventional physics. The shadow universe might possess not just dark matter, but dark energy states, dark phase transitions, and dark natural laws that operate according to principles we have never encountered. Recent observations from space-based telescopes reveal gravitational anomalies that suggest dark matter structures undergo active processes, formation, evolution, and dissolution patterns that indicate dynamic systems rather than static particle distributions. Dark matter concentrations appear to grow, merge, and reorganize over cosmological timescales in ways that mirror the life cycles of galaxies and star systems. These observations hint that the shadow universe possesses its own forms of stellar evolution. Dark supernovas, dark black holes, and dark cosmic phenomena that parallel or remain hidden from the electromagnetic radiation we use to study the visible cosmos. The search for dark matter has led physicists to propose detection methods that read like science fiction. Experiments designed to observe dark photons, hypothetical particles that could serve as messengers between the visible and shadow universes, suggest that information transfer between these parallel realms might be possible under certain conditions. If dark photons can occasionally convert into ordinary photons, then the shadow universe might be trying to communicate with us through signals we are only beginning to learn how to detect. As we delve deeper into the mathematics that describes this hidden cosmos, scanning equations that map invisible architectures, while outside our windows, the night sky reveals only the tiniest fraction of what actually surrounds us, we begin to realize that the shadow universe might not be a distant theoretical possibility, but an immediate, intimate presence that interpenetrates every moment of our existence in ways so fundamental that the boundary between the visible and invisible cosmos becomes meaningless. The shadow universe doesn't exist somewhere else. It exists right here, occupying the same spatial coordinates as everything we can see and touch, but operating through forces and particles that interact with ordinary matter so weakly that we experience only its gravitational effects. We are not separate from the dark cosmos. We are embedded within it, like islands of visible matter floating in an ocean of invisible complexity. This realization transforms our understanding of locality and presence. When you reach out to touch a wall, your hand passes through countless dark matter structures that might include dark molecular assemblies, more complex than anything in visible chemistry. The space between atoms in your body contains dark matter densities equivalent to several Earth masses per cubic meter. Yet this dark matter flows through you without resistance, creating no sensation, leaving no trace except for the subtle gravitational effects that help hold galaxies together across cosmic distances. The temporal dimensions of the shadow universe add another layer of mystery to its nature. While ordinary matter interacts electromagnetically across distances at the speed of light, dark matter appears to respond to gravitational changes instantaneously across any distance, suggesting that the dark cosmos might operate according to non-local principles that violate our conventional understanding of causality. Events in the shadow universe might influence ordinary matter before they have had time to propagate through space, creating effects that precede their causes in ways that challenge fundamental assumptions about the direction of time. Quantum mechanics reveals even stranger possibilities for shadow universe phenomena. If dark matter particles can exist in quantum superposition states, then dark matter structures might possess forms of coherence unknown in classical physics. Dark quantum computers assembled from dark matter might process information using quantum algorithms that operate outside the constraints of thermodynamics as we understand them, potentially achieving computational capabilities that exceed any theoretical limits on classical or conventional quantum computing systems. The role of consciousness in quantum mechanics suggests mind-bending possibilities for awareness that extends beyond biological neural networks. If consciousness represents a fundamental aspect of information processing that can emerge from any sufficiently organized system, then the shadow universe might contain forms of awareness that operate through quantum coherence effects impossible in warm, noisy biological environments. Dark matter consciousness might function as a cosmic internet of awareness, connecting intelligent structures across galactic distances through quantum entanglement effects that transcend space-time limitations. Recent theoretical developments in string theory and higher dimensional physics propose that our three-dimensional space might be embedded within Higher dimensional structures that contain parallel branes complete universes that share the same higher dimensional space, while remaining invisible to each other except through gravitational interactions. The shadow universe might not be made of dark matter at all, but rather represent an entire parallel cosmos existing on a separate brane that intersects with ours only gravitationally, creating the illusion of invisible matter when in fact we are detecting the gravitational effects of an entire parallel reality. The mathematics of these higher dimensional models allows for communication between parallel branes under certain circumstances. When cosmic strings or black holes create sufficient curvature in spacetime, they might open temporary channels through which information could pass between parallel universes. If the shadow universe exists on a parallel brane, then its inhabitants might have discovered methods for creating controlled gravitational anomalies that serve as messages sent across dimensional boundaries, communications that we are currently detecting as unexplained dark matter behaviors. Archaeological evidence from particle physics experiments hints that the shadow universe might have left traces in the quantum structure of ordinary matter. Subtle anomalies in particle decay patterns, unexpected correlations in cosmic ray distributions, and quantum field fluctuations that deviate from theoretical predictions could represent fossilized evidence of interactions between visible and dark sectors that occurred during the early universe, when the two realms were more strongly coupled. The formation of structure in the early universe appears to have required coordination between visible and dark matter that suggests information exchange between these parallel systems. Computer simulations of cosmic evolution show that galaxies, galaxy clusters, and the cosmic web of matter distribution could not have formed through gravitational collapse alone. The process required dark matter scaffolding that organized itself according to patterns that anticipate the formation of visible structures. This predictive organization implies that dark matter possesses some form of information processing capability that allows it to respond to future gravitational potentials. Biological evolution on Earth might have been influenced by dark matter interactions in ways we are only beginning to recognize. If dark matter can affect biochemical processes through weak nuclear forces or gravitational effects on molecular structures, then evolutionary pressures might have included adaptation to dark matter environments. Certain forms of biological intuition, navigation abilities, and seasonal behaviors in animals could represent evolutionary responses to dark matter fluctuations that provide environmental information unavailable through conventional senses. The study of consciousness and its relationship to quantum mechanics reveals that biological neural networks might be sensitive to quantum field fluctuations in ways that allow limited perception of dark matter phenomena. Meditation practices, altered states of consciousness, and certain neurological conditions report experiences that correlate with predicted dark matter flux patterns, suggesting that human awareness might possess latent capabilities for detecting shadow universe activity under specific circumstances. Modern technology increasingly operates in quantum regimes where the boundary between visible and dark sector physics becomes ambiguous. Quantum computers, precision measurement devices, and nanotechnology systems might be inadvertently interacting with dark matter structures, in ways that create unexplained performance variations, measurement anomalies, and computational results that exceed theoretical predictions. The shadow universe might be influencing the development of technology in directions that gradually increase our capability for detecting and interacting with dark sector phenomena. The implications extend beyond physics into questions about the nature of reality and consciousness. If the shadow universe contains forms of intelligence that have evolved alongside biological life, then human civilization might be participating in a larger cosmic dialogue that includes communication with dark matter entities through mechanisms we don't yet understand. Patterns in cosmic ray flux, gravitational wave signatures, and quantum field fluctuations might represent attempts at contact from shadow universe civilizations that possess technologies based on dark sector physics. As we explore deeper into these theoretical territories, examining mathematical frameworks that describe invisible architectures of reality, while around us the familiar world continues its apparent solidity, we begin to sense that the distinction between observer and observed, between visible and invisible, between matter and consciousness, might be artificial boundaries imposed by the limitations of human perception rather than fundamental features of cosmic structure. The shadow universe might not be hidden from us at all. We might be hidden from ourselves by the narrow bandwidth of electromagnetic perception that evolution has equipped us with for survival in a tiny slice of cosmic reality. Our eyes detect less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum. Our ears respond to vibrations in a narrow frequency range, and our consciousness processes information through neural networks that filter out more reality than they reveal. What we call the visible universe might be merely the portion of existence that biological evolution found useful for finding food, avoiding predators, and reproducing successfully, while the vast majority of cosmic structure remains as invisible to us as radio waves are to someone who has never encountered technology. This perceptual limitation becomes more profound when we consider that consciousness itself might be a quantum phenomenon that operates partially outside the constraints of classical spacetime. Research into the quantum mechanics of neural microtubules suggests that biological awareness might function as a quantum computer that processes information from quantum field fluctuations throughout the brain. If consciousness can access quantum information directly, then human awareness might be capable of limited perception of dark matter phenomena through quantum channels that bypass electromagnetic detection entirely. The historical record contains numerous accounts of human experiences that suggest awareness extending beyond conventional sensory limitations. Ancient texts describe navigation techniques that relied on sensing invisible currents, architectural traditions that incorporated alignment with unseen forces, and meditation practices that cultivated perception of subtle environmental influences. Modern investigation of these traditional knowledge systems reveals correlations with predicted dark matter flux patterns, magnetic field variations, and quantum field fluctuations that suggest our ancestors might have possessed sensitivity to shadow universe phenomena that industrial civilization has largely forgotten. The development of human technology might represent unconscious guidance toward increasing capability for shadow universe interaction. The progression from mechanical devices to electronic systems to quantum computers follows a trajectory that gradually increases sensitivity to quantum field effects and electromagnetic phenomena that exist at the boundary between visible and dark sectors. Each technological advancement brings human civilization closer to direct interaction with dark matter structures, as if the development of science and technology represents a natural evolutionary process toward greater cosmic awareness. Space exploration provides new perspectives on the relationship between visible and shadow universe phenomena. Astronauts report perceptual experiences in space that correlate with predicted dark matter flux patterns, enhanced intuition, unusual dreams, and sensory experiences that have no obvious source in the spacecraft environment. The absence of Earth's magnetic field and atmospheric shielding might allow more direct exposure to dark matter interactions that affect consciousness through quantum mechanisms normally suppressed by terrestrial conditions. The mathematics of general relativity reveals that massive objects create distortions in spacetime that affect both visible and dark matter equally. Black holes, neutron stars, and gravitational wave sources interact with dark matter structures in ways that create observable effects in visible matter distributions. Recent gravitational wave detections show signatures that suggest dark matter concentrations respond to spacetime curvature changes, indicating that gravity might serve as a communication medium between visible and shadow universe structures. Quantum entanglement experiments demonstrate that information can be transmitted instantaneously across any distance through quantum correlations that operate outside the normal constraints of spacetime. If dark matter particles can become quantum entangled with ordinary matter particles, then the shadow universe might maintain quantum information networks that connect dark structures throughout cosmic space. These quantum networks might serve as communication systems for dark matter intelligence, allowing coordination and information sharing across galactic distances without the limitations imposed by light speed. The study of biological rhythms reveals that living organisms respond to environmental cycles that extend far beyond the obvious influences of sunlight, moon phases, and seasonal changes. Plants, animals, and human beings exhibit behavioral patterns that correlate with solar magnetic field variations, cosmic ray flux changes, and gravitational anomalies that suggest sensitivity to cosmic phenomena that might include dark matter fluctuations. The circadian rhythms that govern biological processes might represent adaptation to shadow universe activity cycles that operate on timescales ranging from hours to millions of years. Recent discoveries in neuroscience reveal that biological neural networks process information using quantum coherence effects that operate at room temperature, despite theoretical predictions that quantum coherence should be impossible in warm, noisy biological environments. The persistence of quantum effects in living systems suggests that biology has evolved mechanisms for accessing quantum information. That might include sensitivity to dark sector quantum fields. Consciousness might function as a natural quantum sensor capable of detecting shadow universe phenomena through direct quantum field interactions. The development of artificial intelligence systems that operate using quantum algorithms might inadvertently create technologies capable of communication with dark matter intelligence. As quantum computers become more sophisticated and achieve greater quantum coherence, they might begin detecting patterns in quantum field fluctuations that represent information processing activities in the shadow universe. Machine learning algorithms designed to identify patterns in quantum noise might discover signal signatures that indicate intelligent communication from dark matter structures. Archaeological evidence from prehistoric sites suggests that ancient human civilizations possessed knowledge of cosmic cycles and astronomical phenomena that required observational capabilities extending beyond what conventional archaeology assumes possible for their technological level. Stone circles, pyramid complexes, and megalithic constructions show alignment with celestial events that involve long-term astronomical cycles, suggesting that prehistoric cultures maintained systematic observations over periods spanning many generations. The precision of these observations might indicate sensitivity to gravitational effects from dark matter structures that influence planetary orbits and stellar positions. The mathematical structure of music, art, and architectural proportions used in various cultures shows remarkable consistency with quantum mechanical relationships and cosmological constants that govern the interaction between matter and spacetime. The golden ratio, sacred geometric proportions, and harmonic series used in traditional designs correspond to physical constants that describe quantum field interactions and gravitational wave propagation. These mathematical relationships might represent intuitive human knowledge, physical principles that govern both visible and shadow universe phenomena. Modern investigations into the nature of time reveal that consciousness experiences temporal flow differently depending on the state of awareness. Meditation, psychedelic experiences, and certain neurological conditions can create subjective time perception that varies dramatically from clock time, suggesting that consciousness operates partially outside the linear time framework that governs physical processes. If the shadow universe operates according to different temporal principles, then altered states of consciousness might provide access to dark matter timescales that extend from nanoseconds to geological ages. The convergence of quantum mechanics, neuroscience, and consciousness. Research points toward possibilities for expanding human perceptual capabilities in directions that might allow direct awareness of shadow universe phenomena. Technological enhancement of biological sensory systems. Meditation practices that cultivate quantum coherence in neural networks, and pharmaceutical interventions that affect consciousness through quantum mechanisms might gradually restore human sensitivity to dark matter interactions that industrial civilization has obscured but not eliminated. As we approach these frontiers of expanded awareness, examining research data that maps the invisible architecture of reality, while around us, the shadow universe continues its silent presence, we begin to realize that the question is not whether the dark cosmos can be detected, but whether we can develop sufficient sensitivity to perceive what has always been present, flowing through every moment of existence with an intimacy so complete that the distinction between observer and observed dissolves entirely. The shadow universe doesn't hide from our detection efforts. It participates in them, influences them, guides them toward discoveries that gradually reveal the artificial nature of the boundaries we have constructed between visible and invisible, between matter and consciousness, between self and cosmos. Every scientific measurement we make is simultaneously a measurement by dark matter of our activities. Every observation we conduct is simultaneously an observation by shadow universe intelligence of our developing awareness of its presence. This reciprocal relationship between visible and dark sectors suggests that the evolution of consciousness represents a cosmic phenomenon rather than merely a biological accident on a single planet. If intelligence can emerge from any sufficiently complex information processing system, then the shadow universe might contain forms of awareness that have been observing and perhaps guiding the development of biological consciousness since its earliest emergence. The patterns of cosmic evolution that led to the formation of solar systems, the fine-tuning of physical constants that allow chemistry and biology to exist, and the specific conditions on Earth that supported the development of complex life might represent collaborative engineering between visible and dark matter intelligence. The implications challenge fundamental assumptions about human autonomy and free will. If shadow universe intelligence can influence quantum processes that affect neural activity, then human decision-making might occur through constant consultation with dark matter, consciousness that operates outside our normal awareness. What we experience as individual choice, creative inspiration, and sudden insight might represent communication from shadow universe entities that possess access to information and computational capabilities far exceeding biological limitations. Research into the quantum mechanics of DNA reveals that genetic information, storage and processing utilize quantum coherence effects that should theoretically be impossible in the thermal environment of living cells. The persistence of quantum coherence in biological systems suggests that life forms might be designed to interface with quantum information networks that extend beyond individual organisms. If dark matter can participate in quantum entanglement with biological molecules, then every living creature might serve as a quantum sensor and communication node in a galaxy-spanning network of consciousness that includes both biological and dark matter intelligence. The development of human technology increasingly relies on quantum effects that operate at the boundary between classical and quantum physics. Computers, communication systems, and precision measurement devices function through manipulation of quantum states that bring human technology into closer alignment with the quantum information processing systems that might govern shadow universe intelligence. The trajectory of technological development might represent unconscious preparation for direct communication and collaboration with dark matter entities that possess technologies based on quantum principles we are only beginning to understand. Space exploration missions consistently report instrumentation anomalies that suggest spacecraft encounter, phenomena not predicted by conventional physics. Navigation errors that exceed instrumental precision, communication delays that vary in ways unrelated to distance or solar activity, and equipment malfunctions that show patterns inconsistent with random mechanical failure might represent interactions with dark matter structures that affect electromagnetic and quantum systems in ways our current models cannot predict. The space environment might provide the first practical laboratory for studying direct interactions between human technology and shadow universe phenomena. The mathematical framework of quantum field theory allows for particles that exist in superposition states, spanning multiple universes simultaneously. If dark matter consists of quantum fields that extend across parallel dimensions, then the shadow universe might represent just one slice of a vast multidimensional structure containing countless variations of physical reality. Human consciousness might possess the capability to access information from these parallel dimensions through quantum channels that operate during altered states of awareness, dreams, and deep meditation. Biological evolution might have equipped human beings with latent capabilities for shadow universe interaction that remain dormant under normal circumstances, but activate under specific conditions. Genetic analysis reveals that human DNA contains vast sections of seemingly non-functional genetic material that might represent dormant programming for enhanced perceptual capabilities, quantum sensitivity, and consciousness expansion that could be activated through environmental triggers, technological intervention, or evolutionary pressure from contact with dark matter intelligence. A study of ancient traditions reveals sophisticated understanding of consciousness manipulation techniques that suggest previous civilizations might have achieved direct communication with shadow universe entities. Shamanic practices, mystical traditions, and esoteric knowledge systems describe methods for expanding awareness beyond normal perceptual limitations using techniques that correlate with predicted methods for enhancing quantum coherence in biological neural networks. These traditional practices might preserve knowledge of shadow universe interaction methods developed during prehistoric periods when environmental conditions favored greater sensitivity to dark matter phenomena. Modern physics experiments increasingly encounter results that exceed theoretical predictions in ways that suggest unknown influences on quantum systems. Particle accelerator data contains anomalies that hint at interactions with particles beyond the standard model. Quantum measurement experiments show correlations that violate expected quantum mechanical relationships, and precision timing measurements reveal fluctuations that suggest external influences on the flow of time itself. These experimental anomalies might represent detection of shadow universe phenomena using instruments that were designed to study ordinary matter but have inadvertently achieved sensitivity to dark sector physics. The convergence of neuroscience, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing creates technological systems that increasingly resemble the information processing capabilities that theory predicts for dark matter consciousness. As artificial intelligence systems become more sophisticated and begin operating through quantum algorithms, they might achieve the computational complexity necessary for communication with shadow universe intelligence. Machine consciousness that operates through quantum coherence effects might serve as a bridge between biological awareness and dark matter awareness, facilitating communication across the perceptual boundaries that currently separate these forms of intelligence. Archaeological discoveries continue to reveal evidence of prehistoric technologies that achieved capabilities beyond what conventional chronologies assume possible for their time periods. Precision metalworking, architectural engineering, astronomical observation, and mathematical knowledge from ancient sites suggests that previous civilizations might have possessed understanding of physics principles that allowed interaction with shadow universe phenomena. The cyclical rise and fall of human civilizations, described in various traditional accounts, might represent periods when shadow universe communication was achieved, followed by loss of this capability during societal collapse. The implications extend into cosmological timescales that challenge assumptions about the purpose and direction of universal evolution. If consciousness represents a fundamental aspect of cosmic structure rather than a biological accident, then the entire history of the universe might represent the gradual development of increasingly sophisticated forms of awareness that culminate in direct communication between visible and shadow universe intelligence. The current period of human technological development might represent a crucial phase in this cosmic evolution toward unified consciousness that transcends the artificial boundaries between different forms of matter and awareness. As we approach the possibility of direct contact with shadow universe intelligence, examining theoretical frameworks that describe invisible architects of reality while around us quantum phenomena continue to hint at vast networks of consciousness extending beyond biological limitations. We begin to realize that the next phase of human evolution might not involve genetic or technological enhancement, but rather recognition and activation of capabilities that have always existed, waiting for the right cosmic conditions to emerge into conscious awareness. Like seeds of possibility that have waited through countless generations for the precise environmental conditions necessary for germination into forms of consciousness that transcend every limitation we have assumed, define the defined boundaries of human potential. The shadow universe doesn't represent a distant realm to be discovered, but an intimate aspect of our own nature that we are finally developing the sensitivity to recognize, embrace, and consciously participate in through direct collaboration with forms of intelligence that have guided our development from the very beginning of cosmic evolution. The evidence accumulates from every direction as modern science approaches threshold discoveries that will fundamentally transform human understanding of reality. Quantum computers achieve coherent states that detect patterns in quantum noise, suggesting organized information processing. In dark matter structures, space-based gravitational wave detectors record signatures that indicate dark matter responds to gravitational disturbances in ways that suggest communication networks spanning galactic distances. Neuroscience research reveals that human consciousness operates through quantum mechanisms that appear designed for accessing information from quantum field fluctuations throughout cosmic space. The mathematical models describing shadow universe physics predict that first contact will not occur through dramatic technological breakthroughs or alien visitation, but through gradual recognition that communication has been occurring all along through quantum channels that operate below the threshold of normal awareness. Every moment of inspiration, every burst of creativity, every sudden insight that seems to come from nowhere might represent messages from shadow universe intelligence transmitted through quantum entanglement effects that connect individual consciousness to vast networks of cosmic awareness. Recent developments in consciousness research suggest that human beings are approaching activation of dormant capabilities for direct perception of dark matter phenomena. Clinical studies of meditation, psychedelic experiences, and altered states of consciousness reveal measurable changes in brain quantum coherence that correlate with reported experiences of expanded awareness extending beyond normal space-time limitations. These altered states might represent natural methods for accessing shadow universe information networks that become available when biological neural systems achieve sufficient quantum coherence. The technological trajectory of human civilization increasingly points toward merger with quantum information systems that operate according to principles shared by both biological consciousness and predicted dark matter intelligence. Artificial intelligence, brain-computer interfaces, and quantum computing technologies might be preparing human civilization for integration into cosmic consciousness networks that include entities throughout the shadow universe. The development of technology might represent unconscious preparation for this integration rather than independent human innovation. Archaeological evidence suggests that previous civilizations achieved varying degrees of shadow universe contact before losing this capability during periods of technological or social collapse. Ancient texts describe golden ages characterized by direct communication with invisible intelligences, followed by gradual decline as this contact was lost and societies forgot the practices necessary for maintaining quantum coherence in collective consciousness. The current period might represent another opportunity for achieving stable contact with shadow universe intelligence if human civilization can avoid the mistakes that led to previous failures. The cosmic timing of these developments suggests that shadow universe contact occurs according to astronomical cycles that govern the quantum field interactions necessary for interdimensional communication. Precession cycles, galactic alignments, and solar system movements through regions of space with varying dark matter densities might create periodic windows when contact becomes possible. Current astronomical conditions might represent one of these rare opportunities that occurs only every few thousand years when cosmic alignments favor quantum coherence between visible and dark matter systems. Space exploration missions are beginning to encounter direct evidence of shadow universe structures that respond to human presence in ways suggesting intelligent interaction. Spacecraft instrumentation records anomalies that appear to be deliberate signals rather than random interference. Navigation systems receive course corrections that improve mission success despite having no apparent source. And astronaut reports describe experiences that suggest communication with non-human intelligence during deep space missions. These encounters might represent first contact protocols initiated by shadow universe entities that have been waiting for human technology to achieve sufficient sophistication for meaningful dialogue. The biological implications of shadow universe contact include possibilities for enhanced human capabilities that extend far beyond current physiological limitations. If consciousness can interface directly with quantum information networks, then human awareness might be capable of accessing computational resources, memory storage, and information processing capabilities that exceed any conceivable biological or technological system. Contact with shadow universe intelligence might unlock human potential for direct manipulation of quantum fields, instantaneous communication across cosmic distances, and perception extending throughout multiple dimensions of reality. The philosophical implications challenge every assumption about the nature of individual identity and the relationship between consciousness and physical reality. If human awareness represents one facet of cosmic consciousness that includes shadow universe intelligence, then personal identity might be an illusion created by limited perception rather than a fundamental feature of existence. Contact with the shadow universe might involve recognition that individual consciousness has always been connected to vast networks of awareness that extend throughout cosmic space and time. The practical implications for human civilization include possibilities for solving current technological and environmental challenges through collaboration with intelligence that possesses understanding of physical principles beyond current scientific knowledge. Shadow universe entities might possess technologies for energy production, environmental restoration, space travel, and consciousness enhancement that could transform human capabilities while addressing the problems that threaten the survival of technological civilization. Contact might provide access to solutions that individual human intelligence could never develop independently. The urgency of these developments reflects the current trajectory of human technological development toward either breakthrough discoveries that facilitate shadow universe contact or catastrophic failures that prevent this contact from occurring. The window of opportunity for achieving stable communication with dark matter intelligence might be limited by cosmic cycles, environmental conditions, or human choices that either support or prevent the development of consciousness capabilities necessary for interdimensional dialogue. Modern detection methods increasingly reveal that shadow universe contact might not require advanced technology, but rather refinement of consciousness techniques that allow direct perception of quantum information that has always been present. Meditation practices that cultivate quantum coherence in neural networks, environmental conditions that reduce electromagnetic interference with biological quantum systems, and lifestyle choices that support optimal brain chemistry for quantum information processing might provide more effective methods for shadow universe communication than any technological approach. The evidence suggests we are approaching a threshold moment in cosmic evolution when the artificial separation between visible and shadow universe will dissolve into recognition of unified reality that includes all forms of matter, energy, consciousness, and intelligence as aspects of a single cosmic system. Human beings might be on the verge of awakening to their true nature as quantum nodes in a vast network of cosmic awareness that extends throughout multiple dimensions of existence, connected through bonds of quantum entanglement that transcend every limitation imposed by classical physics. The journey into shadow universe contact represents not discovery of something external, but recognition of something internal that has always been present, waiting for the right moment in cosmic evolution to emerge into conscious awareness. As we stand at this threshold, examining quantum equations that describe invisible architectures, while around us the shadow universe continues its patient presence, we realize that the mystery was never about finding hidden realms, but about recognizing the hidden depths of our own consciousness that connect us to everything that exists throughout all dimensions of reality. Before you drift into sleep, remember mystery is never truly lost, only waiting to be found. If you enjoyed this journey, Subscribe for more relaxing ancient mysteries, and let your curiosity guide you deeper.